Hello and welcome back to Invest in Yourself. This is season 1, episode 5. And I'm here with the legend, the myth, live and in person, Wendy Sweet. What's up?
Woohoo! Everything's up.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Awesome.
So I see some of your crew back there. Alex, come on up here. Come on up here. Come on up here.
Quick. I only have a little
Run
bit of
on
time.
up here. Guys, this is Alex. This is Wendy's son. He is the hunter man, the survivalist. He's already shot his first deer, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Caught a 3.5 foot hammerhead.
Got 3.5 foot hammerhead shark too. A couple of weeks ago, right?
A couple of days ago.
A couple of days ago?
Yeah.
That's huge. He loves to fish, loves to hunt. He is awesome. Listen, let me tell you something. If everything goes to the wayside and you have to be a prepper or whatever, I'm calling this guy right here. He's gonna keep us alive. That's right, he can. That's good. He's gonna save his mama and his daddy.
That's right.
That's awesome. Cool. Wave hey to everybody.
Hey.
Say what's up. All right, we're done. Go on.
Hi.
Thank you.
Oh, that's cool.
You can feel like a star.
That's cool. So, Wendy, what kind of mistakes are we going to talk about? I mean, I know you had to make some up because you've never made
Oh,
any.
no. In fact, one of the things that I tell people when they call us for hard money loans, I always ask them to follow my lead, learn from my mistakes, because there's lots of poop out there and I've stepped in every single pile. So I want other people,
Very nice visual.
save your shoes and just use mine. So there's so many mistakes that you can make in investing, and
That's true.
and we want to avoid as many as we possibly can. But what I really want to do, because I know we have a short amount of time, I want to touch on like the 4 top mistakes that I see a lot of people make, especially if they're doing hard money lending. Because if you make a mistake and you're paying some big bucks on hard money or any type of private money, if you're paying interest on any kind of a loan, it's going to cost you that much more when you make a mistake. You're having to make more payments. So my number one thing is cutting corners. As a lender, I get the dear pleasure of being able to go in and inspect all the properties and make sure that the work is not only being done, but being done in a quality-like manner. And one of the things that always stands out to me is the corners that people cut. And what I mean by that is putting baseboard up that doesn't really match, or instead of changing out the hardware on doors, using the old gold worn hardware knobs and hinges, the hinges are painted over, they don't spend the $100 it would cost to replace all of them to nickel. Covering over rot. You replace a floor on top of a subfloor that's kind of spongy. You could replace it. You might avoid replacing it. You're saving yourself, $100 or less by not replacing something like that. And the worst thing about it is people, I've got one real recent actually, that this guy bought a duplex, and he took this duplex knowing that he was going to turn it into condos. Went to the city, got it pre-approved to turn it into selling it as individual condo units or a townhouse unit, and did everything he needed to do except the one thing that really needed to be done, which was separate the meters. So he's going to sell the house now. It gets inspected, and now he's got to spend another $3,000 in separating the meters, knowing that he would have to go in there
But it
to
delays
do
the
that.
closing.
It did. It delayed his closing, pushed it over his 2-point renewal fee. So it's cost him a lot more than $3,000 to do something that he should have done in the beginning anyway.
Very good point. Very good point.
The other thing that people do, my number 2 pet peeve, I would call it, is underestimating your repairs. We all want to spend as little as possible when we're going into a property to
Because we're
rehab.
investors.
That's exactly right.
And we're tight.
I squeak when I walk. And I want to make sure that I get the best deal out there that I can. I go to Lowe's and buy all the clearance stuff. My garage is full of sinks and countertops and light fixtures and all kinds of stuff. So I try to, yeah, that too.
The Habitat store.
That too.
Check out one near you.
That's right. It is a great spot. Tile, I get a lot of tile from there. So I'm always trying to save money. But the one thing that I see a lot of people do is underestimate what it would really cost to fix up a house. And sometimes I even do that. In fact, I'm not very, I do it very, very well estimating houses when I'm looking at other people's houses. But if I'm going to rehab the house, I think I can do it a lot cheaper.
That's because your husband is a contractor.
Well, that helps.
And you're like, oh, Gene can do this. Gene can do that. Gene can do this.
That's exactly right. But the thing is, you really need to look at what it would cost for somebody else to do it. Whether you're going to do it yourself, which is a mistake, or you get your husband to do it, which is also a mistake. Yeah. But what you really need to estimate what it's going to cost in, I would say, midway. You don't want to give it the highest cost. You don't want to give it the lowest cost. Estimate what it's really going to cost and borrow the money to cover it. Don't think you're going to put all this stuff on credit cards, because I'm telling you, you'll run out of money quick, because other things will pop up.
Oh, yeah.
So underestimating is a really, really big problem that I see. My other number 3 would be over improving a house. I see so many people going in and buying these houses that are first-time home buyer type houses, bread and butter that we love to fix up, and they're putting granite on a countertop. Yes, granite is beautiful, but my goodness, you don't need granite to be able to rehab the house. You don't have to put granite in it to sell it quickly. Yes, it always makes a difference. Everybody loves granite, but you could get some really nice laminate countertops that would make all the difference in the world.
And you want to improve it for the price of the neighborhood.
Absolutely, absolutely. We were driving, in fact, Paul and I were driving down the road looking at a house that Paul just recently bought. In fact, he closes on it Friday.
Awesome.
And we're driving down the road, and there are these 3-bedroom, 2-bath, bread and butter houses all up and down the street. And we passed this one house in particular, and it happened to be on that Home and Garden TV show where Ty goes in and fixes up the house and, sends the family out, and they move that bus. You know that show I'm talking about? Well, this house was like 4 times the size of all the other houses in the neighborhood. And it was beautiful, but I'm thinking, gosh, they'll never be able to sell it. Not for what it would really be worth. Right. Now, this house that we're looking at too, in this particular neighborhood, it is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, bread and butter kind of house. But this whole neighborhood is just now getting ready to turn. Yeah. So yes, this is a neighborhood that we do want to put countertops on. Right. And we do want to make sure that we've got nice tile in the bathroom. We want to make sure that it's not a 1-bath house. Right. We want to just go that extra step and put a better grade of flooring in, not just your regular laminate hardwood floors. We want to make sure we take that extra step in this neighborhood, because it's just in that time frame where it's flipping and people are really starting to move into that neighborhood. So you've got to be in touch with the neighborhood. You don't want to over improve. You're going to be throwing money truly down a pit.
And one thing that really helps too is talk to several realtors who focus in that market. If you can, talk to a couple realtors that already have listings in the neighborhood, and have them, tell you, should I put granite in this house? Should I take out the wall between here? Should I open it up? Should I add a deck on the back? Should I spend extra money on landscaping? What should you do for the neighborhood? A realtor who's already successful in the neighborhood and has several listings or has already sold several properties. Wouldn't you agree?
That's exactly right. In fact, what I like to do when I'm looking at a house like that is I see who else has these houses, whether they're listed or whether they're just listed and sold. You want to go in the houses.
That's true.
Now, as a realtor, I'm able to pull up on MLS. I'm able to see the interior pictures of what's going on in the neighborhood, and I can see what other people have done, so I really know what my competition is.
Right.
But if you're not a realtor and you don't have the luxury of being able to go in houses very, very easily, you need to call the realtors that have these houses listed. They're happy to show you the houses. They don't need to know that you're not going to buy them, but they're happy to show you the houses there. They can also just send you the listing from MLS that'll have all the interior pictures, which will help a lot.
Exactly. Plus, you can talk to them about the possibility of listing your house. So really, I mean, they want to send you everything that's out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my fourth and final, well, I shouldn't call it my final. There's a lot of things that people make mistakes in, and we only have time for me to cover 4. That's
today.
Several more shows. But the fourth one would be under improving a house. And I can give you a great example. I just inspected a house for a client who is it's a $250 price range. In this area, $250,000 is a really nice house.
Pretty nice house.
It's a nice house. It's a good neighborhood, and this is a granite countertop kind of house. This house also is a wood floor kind of house. This borrower usually does really, really good work, but for some reason in this house, he underestimated his budget, what he thought he was going to do, and he cut corners just a little bit, but he cut corners by putting a lower grade of everything in the house. That's where he made his mistake. I opened up the front door, and the first thing that knocks me down is these hardwood floors are a very low grade laminate hardwood. You hear it sounds like plastic when you touch it with your fingernails. Yeah. And I was really disappointed in that, because just a couple of grades higher, which wouldn't have cost that much more for him, just a couple of grades higher in the same type of flooring, it would have looked 100 times better. He already had granite countertops there. And what he did do is put just a jamming backsplash, a really nice glass backsplash to match the countertops. So that looks terrific.
Glass tiles.
Yeah, absolutely. That looks terrific. And I'm happy with the kitchen. Then I walk into the bathrooms, and linoleum is down on the floors.
As opposed to ceramic.
Exactly. And it's nice linoleum, but it's not the kind of linoleum I would want in my house.
A $250,000 house.
That's exactly right. And it's the same floor in every house. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. However, if you're going to use cheap linoleum, you don't want to put the cheap linoleum in every single bathroom. And there were 5 bathrooms in that house.
Wow.
5 bedrooms, 5 baths. It was a huge house. Lots of stuff going on. So the other thing too, on the outside of the house, he went to add some things to the landscaping. Planted some small flowers and mulched it. It really, really looked nice.
Mm-hmm.
The flowers that he chose were the little tiny ones that you get 6 in a 6-pack. That are going to be dead in a week. Nobody's going to be there.
You can't really see them from the road anyway.
Exactly. If he had gone ahead and gotten the ones that are in the little half gallon container that are a little bit more healthy, it would have truly made a difference in how that house looked. Yeah. So and he's one that left all the doorknobs gold and painted over. When, for him, it would have cost him $188, because I actually talked with him afterwards and he priced it. It was $188 to replace the doorknobs and the hinges in that house. So those little tiny things make all the difference in the world. Now, will somebody not buy that house? I don't think that's going to be the case. It's going to sell. But would somebody buy it in a week, or is it going to take him now 2 to 3 months to sell? And what did he say? He's paying me hard money payments every month. He's not saving any money by not fixing the house up like he should have.
Guys, you got to think about this, okay? Not only is under improving, it hurts the house in being able to sell, but think about it. If this guy owes $200,000 on this house, okay? Say he's paying 15% interest. That's $30,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's $2,500 a month. That's just under $100 a day, okay? Woo! Think about that really. If it takes him an extra 2 months to sell that property because they go in, ooh, look at the doorknobs, look at the vinyl over here, look at this, look at that. It takes him an extra 2 months to get a buyer that's okay with all that. He just spent another $5,000
That's right.
in interest payments for that. So it's not only about saving money, it's what's going to help your house sell quicker so you can get in and out of it. Because the key is turning the money. buy, sell, buy, sell, buy,
That's right.
sell. Not buy, sit on it for 8 months and then sell. It's buy, sell, buy, sell. So you need to turn your money. The more times you can turn your money per year, the more money you're going to make.
That's right.
So not only does under improving hurt being able to sell it, but it's going to be on the market that much longer. And you can get a premium price too. Very well could be by doing it the right way, they could get more money for it by spending more money
That's
on
right.
the property.
That's exactly right. Now, I do appreciate the interest income.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm always happy for that, but I really want him to be successful in what he does.
That's right.
He
So
can't
he'll
come back to
again
me.
and again
That's
and
right.
again.
That's exactly right.
And you have people that do big, huge, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000
Yes.
projects
Yes.
or more, and they still come back to you.
Yes, they do.
You know, because hey, they're using OPM, other
Mhm.
people's money.
Leveraging what they have.
So, Wendy, thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate that. That's
Thank you.
awesome. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the man, the legend, and the myth himself, Dean West, our senior business advisor. Stay tuned. That was good.